Hey everybody, it's Kellen Brauer here from RacerX, back again with the race examination from Atlanta 2, where we're going to talk about this Anderson-Alex Ray incident in the heat race to start things off. And Anderson gets up after getting landed on and says, "Hey man, thanks for the free back massage. It would have cost me an arm and a leg to get that elsewhere." And A-Ray says, "Yeah, no problem, buddy." In reality, Anderson said that he was heated in the moment and apologized later, and even offered Alex Ray a team fried care package. But what really happened here was A-Ray tripling, just got a slight cross rut right there and goes a little bit to the left, landing on Anderson. More or less a racing incident. And Anderson, because he had OJ'd the triple into the section, was not tripling after that, so A-Ray was closing up. Slight cross rut and just landing on Anderson's back there. Anderson, as mentioned, was apologetic later on after yelling at him, but he won the LCQ and would make it to the main event where he finished on the podium. But in that main event start, right from the get-go, Ken Roczen and Chase Sexton are battling for the lead into the second corner, and Cooper Webb sneaks up the inside to try to take it away, so him and Roczen are now going toe-to-toe into the next section. Webb swings around the outside, and it looks like Webb might be able to steal the lead away coming into the next corner because he's got a little better drive into this triple. Roczen will scrub up the inside, look over to make sure Webb's not going to get him to the outside, and then Webb does try to fight back to the outside, and Roczen just makes sure to run him a little bit wider. Here's another angle of it. You can see Webb trying to sneak to the outside, and Roczen just holds it on a little bit longer to make sure Webb can't cut back up underneath. And Roczen would take off in the whoops from there. And the whoops were Cooper Webb's kryptonite pretty much all night long. He was pretty equal on most of the track with everybody else, but the whoops, he just kept getting caught by really everybody. Barcia's going to make the pass on him here, and then Anderson a little bit later on would also make the pass on Webb, and the whoops pretty much just squared off the corner here. Nicely done pass there on Anderson. And then Anderson would take off to run down Justin Barcia with this cheeky little jump over this inside roller. Roczen was doing it in the main as well, and a nice line right there to take advantage of Barcia going to the outside and just sneak up the inside of him. That would get him on the podium, but later Webb would catch Barcia again, and this was the battle for fourth to salvage some good points for Webb on the night. As they come into this wall jump, Barcia's going to cross over the line and just get Webb's front tire there as they go up the wall jump. Webb not able to keep it on two wheels as he tucks the front end. But what I wanted to talk about here was Barcia coming over right here. He's trying to go for this left side of the wall jump. You can see right here, there's a lot more of like a flat run up to it as opposed to the right side, which is more like a wall. And Daniel Blair explained in the day that Roost from the backside of the wall jump will build up this kind of, smoother run up almost to make it like a roller or like just a straight single jump instead of a wall jump. So Barcia was always going to go to that line. Webb knew it was coming, but in the end for Webb, he just was a little bit maybe too late on the brakes or just didn't quite know that he had not that much room to Barcia's front tire. Hits it and goes down. But for Roczen, it was his fourth win of the year, his 19th career win, and now pulls to 13 points down on Cooper Webb with just 3 rounds to go as this championship fight in the 450 class continues to heat up. I want to remind everybody that this video is presented by OnX Off-Road. Know where to go with the #1 off-road GPS app. Access 400,000 plus miles of trails and roads, open dates, and public lands. Download the OnX Off-Road app today. So the 250 class was pretty much the story of Cameron McAdoo and this wild crash in the first start of the main event. It was eventually red flagged, and then there was a full restart, so McAdoo was able to line back up, and we had a full explanation of that story up on our YouTube channel a couple days ago, so you guys can check that one out. But I wanted to highlight this crash here because McAdoo explained that he slightly overjumped the triple in, and his suspension was still mostly compressed when he hit this transition for the double out, and he was trying to kind of push through it, do the little scrub kind of push thing that they normally do through the jump. So when the rebound of the rear end kicked up on that jump, it almost immediately sent him over the bars, and then from there it's pretty much just all a bad time. His legs got caught up against the bike, so that's why he did this kind of cartwheel roll up the jump thing. It's very similar to that Phil Nicoletti crash back in 2007, I believe that was, during practice. But yeah, McAdoo just an absolute savage to get back up on the bike and continue going, and went to the Alpine Stars medical team, and they were able to check him out for a concussion, and they gave him the all clear to go. And as we mentioned, I posted a video up on RacerX a couple days ago explaining the rules and why McAdoo was allowed to restart. So his team gets him all ready, gets the whole shot device down, and then absolutely insane that McAdoo not only lined up on the gate with everything hurting, his groin was hurting, his shoulder was hurting, but he also pulled the whole shot, or just about did get the whole shot. He gets out of the gate, gets to the corner first. He runs a little bit wide, and that allows Thrasher, I should say, up the inside to take the whole shot away from him. But absolute savage stuff out of McAdoo. And after he got passed early on in the race by a couple of guys, he's able to charge back forward. He gets around Garrett Marchbanks here, and he was on his way up to second, which he would eventually get to. And just an incredible charge out of McAdoo to get this all done. This is him catching Thrasher for second eventually. Look at how hard he hits the whoops. His bars are all bent up. He's got got no front number plate, and he just absolutely sends it into the whoops. Kind of the typical McAdoo stuff we expected out of him over the years, just absolutely sending it. Unfortunately for him, Hunter Lawrence did catch him a little bit late here in the race and just kind of squared him off to make this pass. I like that pass. It was a nice square off to cut the lineup, and Hunter Lawrence was on the charge late in the race to get second in this one. But Justin Cooper takes his 4th career win, his 3rd win of the season, to extend his points lead. But McAdoo, with the ultimate salvage ride of the night, ends up 3rd on the night and now just sits 9 points down to Cooper in the championship instead of what could have been so much worse with just 2 rounds to go in this series. They congratulate each other after the race. McAdoo gets a big hug, and just an incredible night, and still just so many people talking about this moment because it's one of the gnarliest moments we've maybe seen in Supercross history.